Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Screw Toy action figure review. And today we'll be looking at the Pokemon Select Trainer Team Series, Raikou and Mewtwo. And these figures are Target exclusives. I did find them at my local Target. I saw a couple people posting them on my local toy group saying they're finding them in stores. I went to go check it out. And sure enough, they were there on the shelves. So go and check your Targets out. I'm pretty sure you'll find them. As these usually do sit on the shelves and don't really sell out. I don't know about Mewtwo. Maybe he'll be a little bit more popular than the other figures. I know Charizard, he was on the shelves for a little bit and then he kind of got cleared out when he first came out. But let's get a quick look at the packaging. We know what's the deal with these packaging. We've seen them with all the other Pokemon Select figures. You get the two pictures of the characters right there, Raikou and Mewtwo. You get the Trainer Team Series stickers. You get the Pokemon Select logos right there. The Pokemon with Pikachu logo. You get the little only at Target sticker. On the side, you get a very nice image of Mewtwo right there. On the back, you get the wave, which is okay, I can never pronounce her name. Tyranitar, Mewtwo, and they always show Charizard for whatever reason. On this side, it's the exact same thing. We get the character right there. You get the whole bunch of Pokeballs back there. And on the back, you get the wave of this one, which is Raikou Garchomp, which he hasn't came out yet. I'm very excited to see him. Rayquaza, which he's popping up at Ross. So check out your Ross. I think it was like $10 that he was popping up for. And then Mewtwo. You get the barcodes right there. If you need the barcode for what's his name? I already forgot his name. But there it is. And then the barcode for Mewtwo is right there. So if you need that, you can take that as well. On the bottom, you don't get much. On top, you don't get much. You get a window on the side. Enough about these packaging. Let's crack these bad boys open. Now getting a quick look at Raikou and all the accessories that he does come with. All he comes with is the clear plastic stand that we've seen before. It's a typical Pokemon Select stand. The clear stand with the what's it called, matte varnish Pokeball right there. He does come with a shorter stand with the one hinge right there. It is because it just plugs in at the bottom of him, so you don't really need a huge flight stand for him. I always like that they include these, so yeah, that's pretty nice. Getting a look at the figure itself, it's a really well done figure. I love the colors on the figure. They mesh really well together. The contrast between the yellows, the blues, the purples, the grays, they go really well together, man. Some nice contrast. You don't look at his head sculpt. The eyes are nicely done. They're aligned perfectly. There's no misalignment or anything. No paint splotch. I love the little blue beard. I don't know what you would call this little blue thing right here. And then his big old tusk. So he's kind of like a walrus, saber-tooth type tiger. His jaw right there looks nice. It does hinge up and down. But you can see the little teeth in there. Some pink in there. His tongue. Even the roof of his mouth is painted, so that's nice. Get some nice gunmetal color right there. Darker gray. And then the lighter gray right there. He looks like a very fancy tiger. Like a very fancy saber-toothed tiger. And then you get the big old purple hair, which is a solid chunk of plastic right there, man. So that's, yeah, it's a lot of plastic. And then you get some black deco throughout the yellow right there. As you can see, it's a shiny paint of black right there. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's just a little piece of cardboard from the box. You get these little spikes right there that are pretty stiff, so I wouldn't really push on them too much because, yeah, they don't give too much give, so you might break those if you push them too far. The tail is nicely done. Again, this just plugged in. It wasn't attached out of the box because it's a really flimsy plastic, man. That's really thin, and it's not rubbery. It's hard plastic. If you bend that too far, if you drop that, it's gonna break. It's gonna break for sure. But it looks nice. You get the nice matte blue, baby blue. You get the little details right there. They look nice, like a little star right there. And then his little cloud butt looks nice as well. The inside, all gray right there. His toenails are painted, so that's nice. So yeah, overall, pretty solid figure. I mean, if you're familiar with the character and what he looks like, I think it translates perfect into plastic, and it looks exactly what we would expect it to look in plastic form. But getting a look at his articulation, like I said, his jaw does hinge up and down, so open and close. His head's not going to look back. I mean, that giant chunk of plastic's not going to allow it. But he does look down, as he does have a ball joint in his upper neck and his lower neck. So he does look down quite a bit. So that's nice. You get some rotation, very slightly though. It's not gonna give much, but yeah, give some rotation right there. His arms move forward, back, out ever so slightly. He does have a hinge at his lower elbow, I guess you would call that. So it does hinge back and forth. And does it rotate? I don't think it really rotates. He does have a hinge at his foot that hinges a little bit forward, a little bit back, and then you do get rotation out of that foot. So that's where you would get that rotation at his paw. And then the back leg, similar. It goes back, goes forward, a little bit out. And then he does have a hinge at his back knee right there. So you can go this. Oh, whoop. That just popped out. That popped back. But you can see right there, it does just hinge back and forth. And it does have this little key, actually. That's why you can't get any rotation out of it. Why would they do that? That's so odd. Why would they make it so you can't rotate it at the... You see that? He has a little key right there. And then these little things blocking it. That's so odd. Why wouldn't they allow rotation right there? Let me pop this back in. Okay. So yeah, he gets a hinge back. And that's about it. It hinges ever so slightly forward. But yeah, still thrown off that they would not allow that rotation out of... Yeah, it's just weird. Foot hinges forward and back, and he does have side to side. So yeah, I mean, he's a cat. I don't know how much articulation you would really want from him, but yeah, man, pretty solid figure. Now getting a quick look at Mewtwo and all his accessories. All he comes with is his flight stand, and he does have a longer flight stand with the 3 hinges right here at the top hinge, the middle hinge, and then the lower hinge, and it's the exact same base, the one with the Pokeball on it. So the one that we see with all the other Pokemon Select figures. And this figure's pretty dope. Probably one of the most articulated Pokemon Select figures we've gotten to date. He's really solid, man. A couple things that I'm not a big fan of. Just straight off the top, he can't really stand for shit. The tail's the thing that's going to be supporting him the most. So yeah, he can't stand on his own, but that's why we got the flight stand. He is flying most of the time. And then the head, you don't really get any head articulation, and it's just the design of the character as it is connected to his lower back. But other than that, he's a pretty solid figure. Just giving a quick look at him. I mean, there's not much to look at. It's pretty much all the same color. The eyes are nicely done. You get that very nice darker purple for the pupils, and the iris, or is that the... I don't know my eyeballs. You get the black line to give it that angry brow. Those nice little ears right there pointing backwards, and then the tube running from his back to his head. His hands look nice, and all his fingers are actually individually articulated, so that's pretty dope. And the chest, you actually do get some sculpted what's it called, collarbones right there, which is pretty dope. I don't know how well you could see it on camera, but yeah, it's pretty dope. Get the matte purple right there. That's really nice. I'm not a big fan of this huge ass seam right there. Don't know why they didn't do it like sideways down here. I don't know, maybe because I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this big seam right there. The lighter pink purple looks nice. His 2 toes, the back, his little porthole right there, and then you get this big ass tail right here, man. Huge tail right there. It does have a bandy wire in it. As you can see, it does have the little breathable holes so that wire can breathe. And then you get the trademark right there. I wish it was at the bottom. I don't know why they did it on the side. On the other side, not much going on. So yeah, pretty dope figure, man. I mean, yeah, there's not much to him. Again, if you're familiar with the figure looks like, I think it's translated well into plastic. But let's get a quick look at the articulation. His head moves a little bit to the side, but again, that plastic right there is going to stop it from really getting a whole bunch of movement. So yeah, it moves decent. He can look up. Let me see. Let me adjust the neck real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, I adjusted the neck because the hinge was kind of like facing sideways. So with that hinge, he can look up quite a bit, but that hard plastic from the tube right there, it's gonna push it right back. So that hinge doesn't really serve any purpose. He does look down better than he does look up, and then it is a separate neck piece that plugs into the lower body. So I mean, you can try to like push it a little bit more, but yeah, that tube really hinders that articulation on the head. His arms are on ball joints and they hinge all the way up, all the way down until it starts running into his thigh. He does have upper bicep swivel, double elbows right there. He does have a hinge at his hand that hinges back and forth, and then his fingers are all hinge in and out, so you can kind of get a fist going. If I push that one down a little bit, kind of. I mean, not really, but kind of. Yeah. So they do hinge there, and do they rotate? They do rotate. It's very stiff, but you can rotate them. And then again, his hand hinges up and down, rotates a full 360. Does have a mid diaphragm cut, so you get some side to side, but not really. More of a wiggle. A little bit forward, a little bit back. So that doesn't really serve any purpose other than turning side to side. He does have a ball joint at the lower waist, so he gets this much forward. A lot further back actually. And then some good side to side. So that's nice. Then you got the big old thighs, the big old thunder thighs. Yeah, they get decent movement. I was trying to see if they could actually pop out to give it some drop down, but nah, they don't really drop down. Gets a little bit gappy, but he can kick all the way forward and all the way back, and not much to the side. He does have a ball joint right here at his upper knee, thigh. I don't know what you would call that. It does bend a good amount actually, so that's pretty nice. And doesn't really go forward because just the design of the thing. No swivel or rotation out of that ball joint. Again, it probably has that similar little notch that stops it from turning. His ankle hinges this much forward, this much back, which is a good amount, and it does rotate. And then he does have a toe hinge, so that's nice. And then his tail again can bend, and the bendy wire is pretty dope. It only really bends from right here. This is too thick and this is too thick, so you'll get all your bending from that midsection right here. You can bend it that way, bend it that way, bend it this way, so that's nice. Now to get a quick look at some size comparisons, here we have Raikou and Mewtwo next to Charizard and Tyranitar. Here they are next to Zapdos and Suicune. I can never pronounce her name. Here they are next to Rayquaza and Typhlosion. And here they are next to some starter Pokemon and Pikachu. And there you have it, 2 beautifully released figures by Jazwares. As I always say, they always kill it, man. These Pokemon Select figures are some of my favorites to collect. And for the price point at $20 to $25, these things are amazing. Some better than others, of course. But yeah, I really did enjoy these figures. If you're a fan of the Pokemon franchise, then definitely go and pick these up. If you're just kind of casually collecting, also pick these up. I know a guy that collects these just to add to their Pokemon. No, not Pokemon, I'm sorry. Super Smash Bros. Display. And that's a great idea. I wish I had the the money to go and buy extras just to put in my Pokemon display, or I'm sorry, my Smash Bros display. But yeah, dope set of figures. Highly recommend them. They're not perfect, but they're pretty dope for the price point and what they are. So yeah, go ahead and go pick these up if you're a fan of Pokemon. If not, you might want to check one of these out. Might get you into the franchise and stuff. But yeah, enough of me rambling on. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The links to all those are in the description down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Really close to hitting 3K. I hope to do it by the end of the year or even the beginning of the year. I would really appreciate that. And let me know down in the comments below if you're a fan of these, if you're going to be picking them up, or you're just going to be passing them up. Also, if I didn't mention, hit that like button. It really helps this channel. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.